Yes, guys, Cellular back with another video. And as you see by the title and thumbnail, I'll just be reacting to a video here of this 40 plus man transitioning from tech to electrician. Yeah, I just want to watch this. I've seen this before. I just want to react to this because I feel like it applies to my channel as we are in tech. And there's probably some things I can learn from him as well. And I think that you guys can also learn also. So let's get right into it.
Camera, because it kind of throws me off. I have a feeling there's probably some people, they're middle aged like myself, that may be going through a hard time now, especially
off the jump. I see he got the A+, bro. No good. You guys know how I feel about that certification as a whole. Go ahead and see my videos if you haven't. Just scroll down, search it up. But yeah, let's just keep going.
with the job market being like it is.
And I think, just to start, I think this is Coursera or something. I'm not quite sure.
And I wanted to give you all my take, or at least my experience now, on trying to do, what essentially is a career pivot. I have decided to, at 50 years old, I'll be 50 in January,
50?
to become an electrician's apprentice. Now, I think a lot of people will probably be shocked by that, or like, bro, you took a long time to get to that place. You kind of, you kind of missed this. What happened to 30 years ago by doing this. But I do have to say.
So he's switching to electrician apprentice at 50 years old. This year, he just turned 50 this year.
Most of my life has been spent working jobs. I went to school for a while. Unfortunately, I majored in alcoholism, which I was top of my class in, but you can imagine that didn't translate well into the real world. So when I did get into the real world, I worked a lot of...
Yo majored in alcoholism. That's a lot of you guys, I know that.
With no degree, I worked a lot of client support, customer service, call center type stuff. Did everything from managers to leads to escalations. You know the story. The world doesn't pay a lot. It did pay a lot when I first started in that industry, if you want to call it that, in that career. But then over time, of course, it became, I don't know if it just became saturated. Of course, you had a lot of outsourcing, that sort of thing. So those call centers, that type of work, client support, really began to lose any sort of real prominence.
So it seemed like his previous experience was, he said he was a help desk team lead, which is pretty cool. I feel like that's pretty good. I'm not sure why he didn't keep trying to scale up into his learning, because the earning potential is tech obviously gets much higher. So let's just keep watching.
So I decided that after so many years now, that I would try to go a different route. Now, this all happened really because of circumstances. I think a lot of us are my age have probably maybe been pushed out of the workforce. Lots of government jobs, that sort of thing. I had a government contract 4 or 5 months ago, which was ended, with all the different changes coming in. Change of administration, priorities, all that stuff. I'll call it what it is. I'll call it that for now. It hasn't been easy, of course. It has been it's been an unstable road. But I thought for myself, with the whole AI taking over and having the hardest time at my age, I'm still, sad to say, I'm doing I'm looking for entry-level work because I don't have that degree. Just something that I had started, like I said, but then it became...
He also doesn't have a degree. So maybe this is something I could look to myself and see, hey, maybe I should think about pursuing a degree, and for you guys also.
I wasn't really able to focus probably like I should have in that instance. And by the time I was able, I had student loans and sort of thing. So people, some of y'all may identify with that. But with everything going on, I just made the decision for myself. I've got to pivot. I've got to figure out something else to do that will bring me an actual, that'll, for one, be a possibly stable career. And don't get me wrong, I know AI and robots and sort of thing are getting, I'm not naive enough to think that at some point in time, technology won't become advanced enough to where it is taking those straight jobs. But for the meantime, I think that if nothing else, I might have a couple of years left. A couple of years left in the tank, as well as maybe a couple of years before these robots start taking over. Young people as well, anybody that's going into the trades, it may be a good investment, a good chance to take. Because essentially you may be looking at least, I think maybe 5-6 years, maybe 10 years, luckily, that the trades are.
Basically, he said he wasn't locked in college, so that kind of snowballed into where he is now. So I learned that, and many people have told me that the actions you take today, or you are some of your actions you took 5 years ago. So definitely need to lock in in the present now, guys. We see here we have the blessing of YouTube where we can see OGs like him come out and just tell their story. This is not to hate on him or anything, but he's just telling a story. He's just trying to feed his family. I see his family up top there, you know. So yeah, I mean, generally it just seems like lock in. I hope I don't know if I'll get through this, but I hope it all works out for him. Really. But yeah, as for technology, guys, and tech, this is to say don't get discouraged. Keep focusing. I will continue this journey along with you guys. But let's watch for a little bit, actually.
Something that can't fully be taken over by AI. More than likely it will, but I wanted to at least take the chance on becoming someone who knows a trade. If you can imagine, like in the tech support world and lots of desk work, did some remote during COVID, did a lot of remote during COVID. You can imagine that if you've done that over the course of time, you really aren't necessarily good, or I wasn't necessarily very good with my hands. It wasn't like, something that I did very often. The money was good enough to where I was at least, making, good enough money to where I could hire people. But over the course of time, I'm beginning to realize, especially, once the jobs started drying up, and it was obvious that this was a field that looks like it was going to be taken over more and more by AI and by, automation. I just kind of got to the place I'm like, well, I have a son, I have my 15, 16-year-old son now, and he needs to learn how to do things. I mean, being that age, I'm not saying I haven't given him as many life skills as I can, giving him a, understanding the relationship with God, hopefully further that, and to stay hopefully committed to that. I'm trying to teach him in those ways. But I also want to impart to him how to actually do things, how to actually create things, fix things.
Yeah, everyone's situation is different, guys. Don't feel like you have to quit or transition, per se, out of something. Yeah, look at this guy. He's got 2K subs, bro. I remember I watched this video. I don't think he had 1K yet. But if you guys want to subscribe to him, show love to this guy, please. And yeah, this guy's a cool guy. But as for tech, you guys will see my journey here. I'll continue to make updates and videos for you guys. Thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a like and comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching.